Well, Margot, you can see why behind me. Officials from the Madison County DA's office say the pair tried to burn this house down. I heard Brad mention some of that root rot. You know, I want to come over here and show you some of these roots just snapped right in half almost. These roots are about 6 feet tall. The shooting happened right in between the Big Lots and the T-Mobile store behind me. I'm here on 11th Avenue. It's about smack dab in the middle in between 1st Street that direction and 2nd Street this direction. Not only does the amount of traffic on University Drive make it dangerous for any pedestrian to cross, but when the sun goes down, so does your chance of seeing that person crossing. How did they take advantage of you?
Because it took my kindness for weakness, and they've drummed up a bunch of charges on me saying I did this, that, and the other, which I really didn't.
What was your goal when talking to these women and offering them money for sex and bailing them out of jail?
That was not my goal.
That was not your goal? What was your goal?
That's not my goal. My goal is to help people.
Here at this North Huntsville gas station, regular is $3.29, diesel's $4.29. Then across the street, I see $3.09. I've just got a couple questions. Despite what Lopez says, those flashing dollar signs are hard to ignore. Between direct school payment, commercial sponsorships, and boosters, those big bucks are stacking up. This isn't the first time the city's run into sewer issues. We've been following ARAB and its water treatment facility for over a decade.
The water keeps overflowing at 2 ARAB sewer treatment facilities.
Here's the idea behind a torpedo bat. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say to Shepard's family? Why did you hire Logan Delp to kill Larry Shepard? The scammer told her, hey, don't worry about it. Don't put a stamp at the top. We've got it covered. If you look at these North Alabama counties where Wall is from, you can see that a lot of these extra candidates are taking up these votes. You can actually see behind me at this stoplight, a truck is carrying the front of a plow. So you can see that they've been working on top of the mountain, and now I guess they're bringing it down. With each penny representing $100 million. Now, if funding trends for the Choose Act continue in the same pattern, this is what public schools could be missing out on. I've actually been here before for a different crime that was caught on video, and that store owner gave me the video footage, and it points right outside to the parking lot where this shooting happened. I just want to demonstrate with this umbrella to show how deep this water is. If I put it all the way down, that's about 5 or 6 inches of water just right there. I bet it's probably close to a foot that way. I would get in and show you, but I forgot my rain boots today. I have on my Jordans, and I'm not going to do that. The only difference comes in the southern part of the state. This map has 2 minority districts, and this map only has 1. I'm going to try to zoom in where police say those 2 18-wheelers crashed, but as you can tell, it's difficult to see because there's a lot of mixture of smoke and fog. Walk with me here. State troopers on the scene told us that a tow truck that was hauling another car blew through an intersection and was struck by another car. That car was in horrible shape, and it went all the way through the grass right into the daycare because of something that happened during a traffic stop. It's notoriously difficult in the state of Alabama to get body camera footage. So back on March 27th, I had to request this personnel file, and today it's ready. So let's go get it. I've never covered a suicide before. Lindsay's parents told me they want to alert other parents and maybe save another child. And I knew it was a story that needed to be told in their own words.
Even before she was born, I knew she was special.
12-year-old Lindsay Swan was full of nothing but life.
She stuck up for others that were afraid to speak up for themselves and dared anyone to push around her friends or her siblings.
Her mom and stepdad say their sweet pea never met a person she didn't like.
She refused to fail at anything and never gave up until she got it down.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Between sports, playing outside, video games, and hanging out with friends, the Mountain Gap middle schooler had the typical 12-year-old life.
One day we go.
There wasn't a roller coaster that she was scared to get on.
She was so brave.
Yeah.
Most of all, Lindsay loved life. She loved her friends and family, and her smile would light up the room.
On the outside, she was thriving.
Her biggest dream was to be a marine biologist, study sharks, and save the whales.
Inside, she was struggling. She would never get to realize those dreams. Lindsay took her own life last week.
For the most part, she seemed great. You know, the day before she passed, she was laughing and smiling, and we were making plans for the future.
She's giving you those flowers.
When her father died 4 years ago, her mom said Lindsay felt it the hardest.
That brought on a lot of heartache for her. Before she started middle school, I really tried to prepare her because middle school girls can be ruthless. Kids were mocking her and weaponizing the fact that her father had passed away. And it was infuriating. I couldn't believe it. I would smile through my stress and sorrows, but she knew when I was feeling down, and she would be my biggest comfort.
No matter what it was, they would go through it together.
And I had these conversations with her. So, I mean, the fact that this happened to her it could happen to anybody. She will never be forgotten. Sometimes the brightest lights are dimmed too soon.
She says her daughter told her friends months ago what she planned to do.
They would have told somebody. It could have very well saved her life.
I think we need to be more aware and look for any signs, no matter how small they are.
You know, there's so much shame associated with it that people are afraid to come forward and be open about it. It may seem young, but we absolutely need to be having these conversations. If you see something, say something.
Because if you don't, there may be more mothers who have to read their daughter's eulogy.
Not only was she beautiful on the outside, she was beautiful on the inside. She was my mini-me, my best friend, and the light of my life.
And all they have left is a note from her journal.
It's too late for me. Please talk to someone. Even if they act or look okay, they might make it because of you.
Lindsay's parents tell me they aren't pointing fingers or any blame. They just want other parents to recognize the signs with their own children and to never be too afraid to speak up. And if you or someone you know is struggling, call the Crisis Lifeline at 988.
For the first time, WAFF 48's Nick Balenger sat down with Timmy Beeson's wife. Nick, their lives have been put on pause.
Well, Margot, the doctors say that Timmy Beeson's life may be changed forever. Now, he used to own a construction company which helped him take care of his wife, his children, and his grandchildren. Now, that's all changed just because one driver didn't stop. Timmy and Linda Beeson have been through it all, together.
I think this was from like 89, 88, 89. Yeah, you know, when the big hair was in style.
Through fashion fads, raising a family, and building their home along Hobbs Island Road, for 4 decades, the two have been peas in a pod.
We were the two they caught playing hide and go seek, and I was trying to get me kisses from him, and he wouldn't give them to me.
While they were building a life together, Timmy was building homes for his own construction company.
Timmy loved going to work. Even though he owned the company, he got up there and worked just like the rest of them did.
But that, along with the rest of their lives, would come to a screeching halt 364 days ago when Timmy was helping to unload a delivery from a truck at his home.
Timmy and Tyler was out in the road getting everybody stopped. And everybody had stopped. And then somebody didn't want to stop. I turned around and I see Timmy laying on the ground. And he was laying right in here. Yeah.
The driver who hit him never stopped. He drove away, leaving Timmy with brain damage and dozens of broken bones.
I felt like my world ended that day.
5 strokes and many surgeries later, it would never be the same.
I sleep right here next to him every night. Do a tube feed, get him the rest of his meds. This is all his tube feeds. This over here is like what we use daily with him. And this is it. This is what I do every single day.
Police released this photo of the truck that hit Timmy Beeson, but still, a year later, no one has come forward and no one has been arrested.
The law doesn't get you first. Karma will get you in the end. You took my life away. You took my love, you took my life, you took my everything away within an instant.
And while Linda waits for someone to come forward, she'll be doing so right next to her husband, for better or for worse.
I think someone would see this and say, man, this woman's a saint.
I ain't no saint. I just love my husband.
Linda and the rest of the Beesons are truly wonderful people. Now, Linda had to quit her job so that she could provide round-the-clock care for her husband. And police are still looking for anyone who knows anything about this hit and run. Please reach out to Huntsville Police. Now, they do have a description of that truck. They're looking for a Chevy pickup truck from the 90s or early 2000s with a two-tone paint scheme, maroon on top and gray or white on the bottom. Now, Margot, tell people how they can help out this family a little more. A standing room only crowd ready to defend the owner of 708 Bar and Grill was quickly sidetracked by City Attorney Trey Riley.
Our council rules provide that the council shall not hear public comment on formally filed claims or lawsuit.
708 was ordered to close by a judge while a lawsuit from the city of Huntsville plays out. The suit claims the bar is a public nuisance after multiple shootings outside.
There's not one person in here that will promote that.
Those rules did anything but silence this community.
But this is taxpayers' money, and we can't even come in here and get our comments.
And if we're going to discuss, I can't tell what these people are going to say. I knew that was going to.
All we asking is just to be heard, respected. We don't want to be them and they and those people.
Instead of talking about 708 directly, residents like Javon Lassiter used the time to talk about a bigger problem at hand.
We're not a nuisance. That neighborhood is not a nuisance. That neighborhood needs love. We're building overpasses where we're just going to ride over it so we ain't got to see it.
They say the lack of investment and development on the north side of the city is what is driving crime around the area.
We travel to have a decent meal at restaurants. If we had that in our areas, we can keep it in our community.
Before Mr. Gopher came, the whole block was like infested with drugs.
Residents say Malcolm Gopher built a North Huntsville staple, and closing 708 does more harm than help.
This problem really ain't a 708 problem. What I have is a Huntsville Police Department problem.
Gopher says if Huntsville police officers made patrolling around his bar a priority like he begged for, he would still be in business today.
On this edition of We the People, 48 Nick Balenger gives us a look into the flags that represent America. They fly all across Alabama, but they're made in Huntsville.
We started in 1985. We make flags, we install flag poles. We're usually the name that pops up. If it's big around here, we probably did it. Every component that goes into our flags, everything from the material to the thread, the box that it's packaged in is made in America. I wouldn't have it any other way. First step is to make a blue field. The material comes 60 inches wide. So much symbolism in our flag, you know, the 50 stars, the 13 stripes, the colors. These will be the fields for 30-foot by 60-foot flags. Just a very symbolic flag. And, you know, you don't have to look very far back in our history to find that people have died for that flag. There's a lot of things going on in the world, and I think there's a lot of pride in America. We'll start with that, and then over here we have a slitter, and what this does is it cuts the stripes. Of course, during 9/11, that was insane. We were watching the news and we saw the second plane hit, and I said, I got to get to work. These machines join one red stripe to a white stripe. We just could not keep up with the demand. And honestly, no one in America could. Flags seemed to be the symbol that united us all. This is where she cuts the stars. This year we're seeing a lot of emphasis on the 250. They'll take an actual star, place it on the table, lay blue over the top of that, and then place another star on top of that. We have a flag that we're making here in-house that is a 13-stripe Betsy Ross type flag with the 13 stars in a circular pattern with 250. More than anything, it's just a surge in patriotism with, you know, the 50-star 13-stripe flag. And now what she's going to do is she's joining the bottom stripes. It's a symbol of all things good about America, in my opinion.